fear stop you from taking risks.
Okay, today you're going to want to lead in.
Perell,
entrepreneur who's exited multiple companies.
To running a multi-million-dollar empire at age 30.
To selling our company for over $200 million.
I really want you to meet someone. She's an entrepreneur and an investor and a best-selling author.
She's the author of Mistakes That Made Me a Millionaire.
She's founded 9 companies and invested in more than 100 others.
And mom of 4. The mom of 4 really impressed me.
When it gets really, really hard and you think it's over, you don't quit.
Kim's awesome. She's legit.
Such a fan of Kim as a business person, and I truly believe that this is the mentor that you've been looking for.
Welcome, Kim.
Kim Perell. Kim Perell.
Kim Perell.
Kim Perell.
Put your hands together. Open up the door for Kim.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Wow, she looks so confident, right? So in control. I only wish that they would have included the time I got fired and I cried in my car, the time I maxed out all of my credit cards to make payroll, and the countless nights at 2 a.m. that I stared at the ceiling thinking, am I actually cut out for this? How many of you have ever felt like that before? Raise your hand. Yes, I still kind of do that. Well, when I look back, it's incredible to see how far I've come. But the reality is, it was the mistakes that contributed most to my success. Because in every instance, before you level up, you will mess up. You will fail. You will get rejected. You will want to give up. I guarantee it. But what I found is the mistakes did not break me. They made me. And that has never been more true than right now. We are going through one of the biggest technology shifts in our lifetime. 1 out of every 6 people has adopted AI. What are the other 5 people doing on the sidelines? Listen, let's talk about mistakes right now. I'm trying to let this clicker click, but it's not. What do you think I should do? I don't know. I'm trying. It says mistakes, but I guess we got to just keep going. If someone can hear me and they can help me, that would be amazing. If not, we keep going, and then we'll catch up when they figure it out. Right now, AI is having such an impact on everything we do, how we work, how we create, how we communicate. And for me, this reminds me of something very similar, a time when I originally started my career, which was at the start of the internet. Yes, I started my career at the height of the .com. Friends was the most popular show on TV. Yahoo had just gone public, and they thought they were going to be the biggest search engine ever. It was an incredible time, and I worked for a company called XDrive. XDrive is a precursor to Dropbox, so the Dropbox before the Dropbox. And we raised $100 million in funding. It was like being on a rocket ship, and success felt guaranteed. And so I called all of my friends and asked them to come work for me. I said, we're all going to be .com millionaires. Who wouldn't want to? It was guaranteed success. Until one day, the .com bubble burst. And my boss said, Kim, I need to talk to you. And I can remember walking to his office, and I could hear my heels and my heartbeat. And the moment I sat down, I knew. Kim, well, Kim, you're fired. Today is your last day. My heart was devastated. And as I walked out the door, he said, Kim, there's one more thing that I need you to do before you leave. As if my day could get any worse. I said, okay, what is it? I need you to fire all of your friends and tell them it's your last day too. I was devastated. I went to my car, put my hands on the steering wheel, and cried. And pizza. This is what saved my life, the catalyst. Once the nightmare I realized was not going to pass, I realized I had 2 months left of rent. And my friend said, hey, Kim, get out of bed, let's go get pizza, and let's talk about what you're going to do next. And I told them I had an idea to start an internet company. And they said, you're crazy. That's a terrible idea. You have no skills, you have no money, and the internet is a fad. Get a real job. Well, let me tell you a secret that I wish someone would have told me sooner. There are less qualified people than you doing the things that you want to do simply because they choose to believe in themselves. So over pepperoni pizza, I decided I would do it anyway, which brings me to mistake number 1, waiting to feel 100% ready. I wasn't ready, but I acted anyway. There was one problem. I was broke. I had no money. The internet was a graveyard in Silicon Valley, and I called the one person that I knew would make a bet on me. My grandma. And I said, Grandma, I have an amazing investment opportunity for you in the internet. And she said, what is an internet? It's actually probably good she didn't know. Didn't matter. She believed in me, and she gave me a $10,000 loan. And with it, I bought a domain name, a computer, and a one-way ticket to Hawaii, right? Because in America, we don't go to Silicon Valley, we go to Hawaii. No, we don't go to Hawaii. We go to Silicon Valley. But anyway, I didn't go to Silicon Valley, I went to Hawaii. Why? Because I could live rent-free with my boyfriend. And I set up shop at his kitchen table. And within 3 weeks, my new company, Frontline Direct, was open for business. And what they don't tell you is entrepreneurship is not about a great idea. It's about the day-to-day discipline of getting things done. And what better way to show my commitment than to max out all of my credit cards, like every good entrepreneur does. The only problem, I was so scared I was going to fail again. I got stuck in analysis paralysis. I overthought everything, my pitch deck, my product, every part of my strategy. I just couldn't move. How many of you get stuck at analysis paralysis and overthinking things and just can't move forward? Yeah, me too. But then one day, listen, I was running out of cash fast. I saw on the TV a Marine general talk about the 70% rule. And he said, if you have 70% enough information to make an informed decision, you should act. And I thought to myself, if the Marines can do this, so can I. So I started using the 70% rule in everything I did, and I still do it today. If I have enough information to take action, I go. Think about today in your life where you are 70% ready. So mistake number one is waiting to be 100% ready. And the lesson I learned is to start before you're ready. So there I was at my kitchen table, and honestly, as an entrepreneur, how many of you have ever felt alone? It is lonely building a company in your kitchen in Hawaii where everyone thinks you're crazy. Yeah, it is. It's still lonely building a company. But I was determined to prove everyone wrong, that I could do it. The challenge is it got quiet there. And I was working 16-hour days, 16 to 18 hours, and finally my boyfriend found me with 104-degree fever, laying on my laptop and saying, "You need to get help." And I thought asking for help was a sign of weakness, but the reality is asking for help is a sign of strength. And so I called the one person who I knew had built a business, just one, Jerry. I said, "Jerry, I have a serious problem." I thought he was going to give me advice on market strategy, on my financials, but no, you know what Jerry said to me? He said, "Kim, no one is successful alone." Which brings me to mistake number two, thinking I had to do it alone. I had this lone wolf mentality. How many of you have that mentality here? Well, we're in the world here of AI. And I am such a huge believer in AI. But you know what I am a bigger believer in? PI. People intelligence. Think about where you are right now. You did not fly to Madrid. 20,000 people did not come here to meet an algorithm, did you? No, you came to meet people, to make connections, to build relationships, and maybe find a mentor like Jerry. And once I thought about it, every successful person I knew had a mentor. Bill Gates had Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg had Steve Jobs, Luke Skywalker had Obi-Wan Kenobi. 93% of self-made millionaires have mentors. It's so easy. And the perfect and easiest way to find a mentor? These 3 words. Let's have coffee. So simple. It's not about the caffeine, it's about the connection. And once I had a mentor, my business took off. If you change nothing in your life but the people, you will have increased your chances of success 10 times. So mistake number 2 is thinking I had to do it alone. And the lesson I learned is no one is successful alone. Well, growing up, I had 2 entrepreneurial parents. It was like being on a never-ending roller coaster ride. Do you guys have entrepreneurial parents? Yes. Oh my gosh. My dad, he was always chasing some big dream. If someone told him it wasn't going to work out, you know what? He didn't care. If someone told me he's crazy, honestly, I think that's why I'm a little bit delusional. He didn't care. At dinner every night, we would sit down and my dad would ask me, "Kimmy, what is the worst thing that happened to you today?" Not the best, kind of weird for a 10-year-old kid. The worst thing. But he was normalizing failure for me at a very young age. Which brings me to mistake number 3, seeing failure as final. Have you ever failed? Raise your hand if you failed. Yes. Well, great. You are 1 step closer to success. People think success looks like this, straight line up and to the right. But I know that this is what success looks like. It's a winding path full of detours and dead ends and setbacks. I've had more failures than I have had success. I've been bankrupt. I've been broke. I've lost my best clients. I've lost my best employees. I didn't want to get out of bed in the morning. I was depressed. But mistake number 3 is seeing failure as final. And the lesson I learned, failure is only final if you quit. So my kitchen table startup, the one where I maxed out all my credit cards, and you found me lying on my computer with a 104-degree fever. Well, that kitchen table startup became a $100 million company. And I sold it twice. First to a company out of Munich, Germany, and the second time to Singapore Telecommunications for $235 million. And my grandma made 100 times her money. Yes, before she passed away, I took her on some incredible trips. This is us in Italy driving a Ferrari. The high life, as she said it. And every time through my journey, I hit a setback, or I hit a roadblock, or I hit something that I did not think I was going to be able to make it through, I would call my grandma, and she would give me 2 words. Are you ready? Keep going. When you get rejected, keep going. When you're tired, keep going. When you fail and you do not think you can do it anymore, keep going. Because failure is an event and quitting is a decision. So these 3 mistakes made me millions. 1, waiting to feel 100% ready. You will never feel ready, especially in today's world of AI. You won't be ready, but have the courage to start anyway. Number 2 is thinking you have to do it alone. No one is successful alone. Surround yourself with supportive, inspiring individuals that demand you live up to your greatest potential. And number 3, seeing failure as final. Failure is only final if you quit. So today, in a world of AI, for the next 3 days, think about who you want to become when it gets hard. Will you give up? Will you shrink? When you don't know what you're doing, will you ask for help or be the lone wolf? And when you fail, will you get back up and keep going? Thank you. Thank you so much.